Hello everyone and welcome to day 5 on the Disney Dream.
It is the final day here on the Disney Dream, and we are so sad and so tired after being up so late watching Shang-Chi, but it was a great movie, totally worth it.
100% worth it.
Our view this morning is not as great as it has been from our veranda these last few days, but that's because we're back in Florida. We're very tired because we do have to be out of the room by 8 a.m., which means we have to pack everything up, so we spent most of the morning doing that before we had to leave.
But before we could finish packing everything up, I had to go down to Shutters to pick up our photo flash drive that has all of our pictures we've taken with the photographers this entire cruise. We do have them already pre-ordered, so we can just go and pick it up. They have the envelopes ready, so I waited in line and got that from the cast member there, and then I took it back to the room, threw it in my computer bag, and when I loaded it up a little bit later, we actually found that we were missing a lot of pictures. You may have noticed yesterday's video, we didn't have any pictures, so for whatever reason, they were all missing from our drive, but there is a solution. Disney Cruise Line does have a form on the website you can fill out, and they will track down those photos for you as long as you fill it out within the right amount of time. We did do that. We just have not received those photos yet. They did say please allow for 20 business days for them to track it down and get them all over to you. So unfortunately we don't have those yet, but we're hoping to get them very soon.
Once Robert got back to the room, we packed everything up and left the room, made sure we were out by 8 a.m. We did get to see our stateroom host one more time and say goodbye to him and take a picture with him before heading to breakfast. We're at Enchanted Garden because you always eat breakfast on the last day wherever you had dinner the night before, which was Enchanted Garden for us, and we don't have a problem with that because this place is beautiful.
Absolutely love it.
We aren't supposed to be there until 8:30 though, and we had to be out of our room at 8, and so we kind of have a 30-minute window here where we're not doing anything. It's not like we can go do an activity. Thankfully, they did let us in early. We really appreciated that because we had nothing else to do, and we were super hungry. We got to take a picture with our servers, and it was so good to see them one more time before we do have to leave, and of course get breakfast once more.
I ordered up the corned beef hash with eggs, and this was a very filling meal. I wanted something that would fill me up because it's got to last me several hours today. We've got to drive back home. We're going to the parks a little bit later, so this was perfect. But on top of that, I also added on a bagel with cream cheese.
And I ordered the ham, egg, and fried hash browns, and then I asked for more ham because there wasn't enough with the egg I was eating. I also got a bowl of fruit. Again, trying to eat something that's going to fill us up for a little bit because we have a very busy day today.
After we finished breakfast, we headed back up to the atrium, and we were allowed to disembark because our luggage tag character had been called. They pretty much called all of them at this point, which is fine. So we started working our way off the ship very slowly, very sadly, and we realized they were actually decorating the ship. Our cruise was the last cruise on the Disney Dream this year before the Halloween on the high seas. So in between us docking this morning and when all the guests start coming on board in just a couple hours, they have to transform the atrium area into the Halloween theme. So we saw them all over the place with garland and pumpkins and these big rigging pieces that they're going to put something on. It was really cool to see them setting it all up, and I cannot imagine how hard it is to get everything done in just those few hours.
I told Robert it was time to leave, and it was actually really difficult to get him off the ship. I did manage to do it, but I was a little concerned.
Bye.
Bye, Mickey.
We'll miss it all, but we'll be back soon.
When we got to the bridge that leads over to the parking garage, we stopped to take a few more photos with the Disney Dream. These were not as happy as they were 5 days ago when we took the pictures, but we still had to stop and take them one more time. But while we were standing here, we realized that the sister ship to the Disney Dream, the Disney Fantasy, was actually right next to it, which never happened. So this was a really cool moment. We had to stop and take this in. And then we had to leave because, eventually have to leave. So we headed to our car and drove back home.
When we got home, we started unpacking and started some laundry, just all the getting back to real life stuff that's not so fun.
No.
So we didn't stay here long and do that. We actually went back out and went to Epcot because we had a friend who invited us to their Remy's Ratatouille Adventure preview today. We're very, very excited. We have never seen the ride-through videos. We haven't really looked at anything at all around this ride because we like being surprised. When we ride something for the first time, some people like to watch ride-throughs and get an idea, but we like the surprise of the very first time through. So we went to Epcot and got our preview wristbands and went into the area and loved this area. It is so pretty. I love the fountain outside of the ride. It's beautiful. And there was essentially no wait for the ride, so we got to walk right on.
He is preparing one of his specialties, which I am certain you will enjoy. Remember, food always comes to those who love to cook, but not to those who are into dinner.
As we walked through the queue, we had to look at every single detail to make sure we didn't miss any Easter eggs or any hidden Mickeys. And we really didn't find much in the way of hidden Mickeys, which we were really surprised about, especially because Remy's a rat. I don't know, maybe they just felt that was weird. I'm not really sure. We did find a couple hidden Mickeys in this one room, but they were really, really hard to find. We stood there for a really long time, but we did eventually have to get through because we do want to ride the ride. And this ride is so adorable and so cute. Very similar concept to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but a lot more 3D effects like in Rise of the Resistance. So it's kind of like a combination of that, but you know, Pixar themed with Remy.
Here they are. Des invités pour le dîner.
Yes, but what to prepare? Hein? Pour le repas idéal. Coq au vin? Non. A simple omelet? Too simple. Voilà. Mais oui, that's it!
And that's all we're going to show. No more spoilers for the ride. If you want to see it, I'm sure there's a million ride-throughs on YouTube. You can go check those out, but we're not going to spoil it here. After we got off the ride, they were like, hey, you guys want to ride again? Yes, we do. Yep. So we went through again and rode again, and then we came out and everyone said, hey, do you want to ride a third time? Well, one of the members of our party was kind of feeling a little bit woozy because it can get you if you have any issues with motion sickness. There's a lot of spinning around and kind of moving quickly in this ride. So she said no, she's good. Well, her son wanted to ride again. He's 14, so I rode with him. Everybody else left, and they actually went over to get some crepes while we rode through one final time.
The creperie was open, and we decided since it's the first time, there's a bunch of us here, go big or go home. So we wanted to get a bunch of different flavors. None of us were super hungry though, so we ended up just getting a lot of the sweet ones, which was probably a terrible idea, but they were really good. The one savory we got was the ham and brie, and I thought this was a bit much. Brie is a really strong cheese anyway. Several of us thought it was a lot. It needed a lot more ham to offset the brie.
But I love brie, and I thought it was amazing. Keep in mind, I did eat just fried brie on the cruise ship a couple days ago. That's how much I like it. So I thought it was great. Everyone else said it needed more ham, but I would totally eat this again. We did end up getting all 4 of the sweet crepes as well. My personal favorite was not the fruit one, but it was a very close second. It had a bunch of fruit topping on top, but it also had food coloring in it, so Alyssa could not have this one. I thought it was really good, really sweet, but it wasn't quite my favorite one.
We got the plain one, which is basically just butter and sugar. I thought this was really good.
It was good crepe,
I enjoyed it. It wasn't overly sweet, and it wasn't really heavy, so if you want a light snack, this is a great option. There was also another one that you could get vanilla or chocolate ice cream with. And this one honestly didn't work out because it made the crepe really, really soggy, and the ice cream literally melted before we could even try anything. So we just had a plate of ice cream.
It would probably have helped if they didn't use soft serve,
Probably.
but they did, and it was really hot today, so it just kind of turned into a puddle very, very quickly. And neither of those were my favorite either. My favorite was the chocolate and hazelnut, which is essentially Nutella, but they make it in-house. It was incredible, so good. It was sweet, but not overly sweet. I am a big fan of Nutella anyway, so that's probably a little bit why this was my favorite, but it was so good.
This was definitely the best one of all 4. I really enjoyed this one as well, so that one disappeared faster than all the rest. I think we all agreed this one was probably the best one, so we hope that helps. You can kind of save your money on some of the others and get that one. And the plain one too, because I liked that one.
Everyone was pretty much done here in the Ratatouille area, and they started to leave, so we went all the way back to the Disney Vacation Club member lounge here in Epcot up above Journey to Imagination. We spent a lot of time here in the member lounge in 2019 working, and today I brought my laptop and we are going to be working in the DVC member lounge once again because they have air conditioning, they have drinks, they sometimes have snacks, and we can go up there and sit with great internet and take advantage of all those things. So I took my computer out and I was working on editing a video while we were up there. Alyssa was uploading pictures from her phone. She was editing pictures for the videos we're doing. all of that stuff. We had a couple hours to kill, so we sat there and used the lounge like we have many times in the past to get stuff done. And then when they closed at 6 p.m., I was like, okay, well, I don't want to haul my computer around Epcot anymore. Let's take my bag back to the car, and then we'll come back in the park because we're meeting another friend for their Ratatouille preview in just a little while.
As we got to the car, we noticed that it was getting dark really quickly, much earlier than it should have been. We looked up and we had some very dark skies coming. It was getting very windy. It felt nice outside, and anytime it feels nice in Florida, it's not for a good reason. So we did grab the umbrella from the car. It actually worked out that we went to the car and we walked back in. We're trying to get somewhere with shelter before it starts raining. We don't know how long we have, but as we walked into the park, Mickey and Minnie were right there. Well, you have to stop and take pictures of Mickey and Minnie and get some video because they're adorable and I love them. Didn't get enough of them on the ship. I had to take pictures and video of them here. And then we decided, let's ride Spaceship Earth. That seemed like a really good idea. If it does start to rain, we won't even know, not a big deal. So we waited in line, which was basically walk up. It said it was like a 10-minute wait. It was not. And we rode Spaceship Earth, and something happened on this ride that has never happened to us before.
And now I believe your future is just about ready. Let's take a look, shall we?
Welcome to the future. Or should I say, your future.
Oh my goodness.
Here in your future, getting away on vacation is a breeze. Your suitcase knows where you're
What happened to your eyes?
Your home fueling station. They can take you anywhere. You've already planned the trip for the journey because your car's holographic gaming technology keeps you connected to friends back home.
Like I have no soul.
The end. Or should I say the beginning of your future.
It's creepy with the yellow. That's what it's really creepy.
And that is something I can never unsee. That was terrifying.
I couldn't see anything. I didn't have any eyes.
Yeah, well, I wish I hadn't seen it either. That was something else. I don't even know what that was. After we finally left Spaceship Earth trying to get away from that, whatever that was, we walked outside and it was downpouring. We thought maybe the rain would have passed out. No, the rain did not pass. It is pouring down rain, but our friend is here. We've got to go over to France to meet them.
Current view. This is awesome. Feet are getting wet.
Go Ratatouille.
Nothing can stop us now.
Rain!
Okay, it might actually stop
Rain can
us.
stop us too.
And here's the view of us underneath the hill.
The
Oh, it got
rain is
worse
coming
outside.
from everywhere. It's like behind us, in front of us, beside us. We're getting so wet.
We did make it to the ride, but we were not dry when we got there at all.
Not
It was
at all.
really bad. It was coming from the side and everything, no matter what we did. But we made it. That's all that matters. We got to meet up with our friend. She has not ridden this before, so of course we rode it a couple times. So we're like, okay, here's what you got to know before we go in. Telling her all about it, showing her the hidden Mickeys we found in the queue. So we rode the ride and she absolutely loved it. She's like, do you guys want to ride again? Absolutely. So we rode again and had just as much fun this time. This time, though, when we got off, we started talking to a cast member, asking if there was anything we should be looking for. Hidden Mickeys on the ride, any Easter eggs. They said, well, there is a hidden Easter egg in the very first room you go into. And we're like, okay, we did find that one. So we've already seen that. We all saw that. Like, and there's also a hidden Mickey at the exit of the ride. And we're like, haven't seen that one. Okay, we're gonna go check it out. So we got on the ride one more time, went around, and as we exited, we started looking everywhere. We could not find the hidden Mickey. It was
We were all over
very
the place.
annoying because 3 adults looked like we're lost. We actually had 3 different cast members ask us if we were lost. We're like, no, we know where the exit is. We're trying to find the hidden Mickey. We're like, do you want a clue? No, I don't want a clue. I want to find it all on my own. Eventually we had to give up and ask where it was because we looked really lost. I did finally ask a cast member to specifically show me where the hidden Mickey was, and I have to say, it is not actually at the exit, because depending on where you're exiting, you don't even pass it. So that was kind of unfair. We were looking in the wrong place. We did finally find it, but it was a really good hidden Mickey.
We said goodbye to our friend and she headed back over to her resort. we started leaving the park, but we realized we are absolutely starving. Apparently those crepes didn't last very long for us, so we stopped in the UK and got some fish and chips because that's great food to get when you have to walk.
Yeah.
It is still raining, but it's only sprinkling now, so we're not getting totally drenched. So we got the fish and chips and just kind of snacked on that all the way out of the park. And then we drove back home, and that was the end of our final day on the Disney Dream.